Good evening, everybody. My name is Jason Marwan Hanan. I'm the principal at Aptos Middle School.
My name is Stephen Jamal Leeper. I teach 8th grade ethnic studies at Aptos Middle School.
I'm Diane Perry. I'm a math teacher at Aptos Middle School.
My name is Erin. I'm not going to tell you my middle name. Erin Hartfield, and I am a math teacher at Aptos Middle School.
My name's Travis. I'll pass on middle names too, but Travis Porter. I'm a special education teacher as well at Aptos Middle School.
My name is Eric Pascual, and I'm the visual arts teacher at Aptos Middle School.
So over the last, 18 months ago, my team got together and embarked on a journey together when we started the Black Students Matter Inquiry Group. And we started this group to use design thinking to design design solutions for a unique challenge that our school community was facing. And that was the consistent underperformance of African American students and the disproportionate rates of suspension and referrals for African American students. And so that was our charge. That was our call to action. Next. We developed our original how might we question and respond to that call to action, and that was for the benefit of all historically disenfranchised students, specifically Black students. How might we dismantle white culture at Aptos by inspiring teachers to examine how their identities and practices are complicit with the system of white supremacy? And then what we did was we did two iterations of this original how might we question. The first one is how might we challenge non-Black staff, specifically white staff, to authentically care, respect, and listen to Black students' experience as a means to humanize them. So humanization was important for us as a part of our process. And then secondly, how might we use storytelling to shift mindsets, attitudes, and beliefs of non-Black staff, specifically white staff, as a means to fundamentally change the way that they see, talk, and teach Black students. And so that led us into, we had a choice to make, and we chose to continue forward with the work through design, and we went to discover. So in our discovery phase, we started with mapping out who our stakeholders were, and we realized we had a lot more stakeholders than we originally were thinking about. We had SROs, we had parents, we had paras, we had teachers, we had students, we had janitorial staff, lots of people who are stakeholders. But we decided to focus specifically on Black students and teachers as our stakeholders for this. Then we went to a process where we clarified the existing knowledge that we have, including research that we had already done, some questions that came up as a result, and then the assumptions that are underlying some of the things that we were talking about. Through that process, we developed methods of research that we needed to do in order to learn the things we needed to learn. So the 4 methods were: we surveyed the entire Black student body. It's 9% of the student body. Secondly, we disaggregated existing referral data to identify themes and patterns and trends. Thirdly, we had student-generated referrals, so we had students write referrals on teachers. And then fourthly, we did classroom observations. Next slide, please. So we had some key data points. One key data point I wanted to share with you is that through the classroom observations, we noticed that Black students had the most negative interactions with white teachers, and that that Black students were being called out and targeted for the same exact behaviors that their counterparts were doing. So that was one key data point. And then we contemplated and reflected on all that we learned and developed insights. I'm gonna hand it off to Ms. Perry for insights.
So our insights included, from our surveys of our Black students, the fact that our Black students reported having the best relationships with our Black teachers and our Black staff. Additionally, we found through our surveys primarily that the quality of the relationships described by our Black students was comparable with their non-Black teachers of color to their relationships with the white teachers. That said, we also found through our observations and the 2 kinds of referral data we looked at that the Black students have the most negative interactions with their white teachers. So we put that together and decided, we also realized that most Black students who are having these negative interactions are students with IEPs. So we put those insights together and decided to think about it, and one realization we came to is that for each of us in the classroom, each of our each of our interactions with our black students is either humanizing or dehumanizing. There is no neutrality in that moment. So taking that, we decided that we needed to focus for our staff on what we are calling pro-per development. So pro is professional development, skills and techniques we can bring into the classroom, and per is our personal development, changing our mindset, examining our implicit biases, and learning how to consistently humanize our black students.
And so based on those insights, we wanted to figure out how we could create that proper development and implement that within our school. So we started with student referrals, and the purpose of the student referrals was to elicit feedback from the students regarding their daily interactions with their teachers. So right now in the school, a lot of teachers are piloting this already. The students are writing referrals for teachers, and the feedback that we get is used to inform what we're doing in the classroom. We wanted to shift the power dynamic. Usually teaching is like the teacher has all the power and the students feel powerless, so we wanted to put some of that power back in their hands. Before we started this process, we took this to our whole staff, so we did a BSM presentation to let them know what this data was and what we were going to do moving forward. We also contacted our union reps so they could be involved in what we were doing, so we can get through all of our checks and balances. And basically, we realized that there's going to be an influx of teacher referrals at the beginning because kids are writing referrals. They're going to be so excited. Just let me write all these referrals. But we realize that they'll decrease, and we're going to teach them how to write them and the purpose of them. And through our Black elective, so next school year, we'd like to have this elective. It's Black leadership in action for the community. We want the students to focus on the school community as well as their local community and use the design thinking process to problem solve around the issues. And we want whatever they're doing to inform our proper development with our teachers. The next thing that we're going to be doing is looking at our implicit bias. So videoing ourselves within the classroom and using a culture of collaboration and transparency to analyze when we are humanizing or dehumanizing our students and calling out those implicit biases. We realize that some teachers may not want to participate in the beginning, but after they see how powerful it is, we're hoping that everybody will jump on that train. The things that we need to do that are better equipment, because I'm using an iPad right now. So, and that's not very helpful. The last thing that we would want to do is student videos. So student videos and autoethnographies. We want the students to be able to tell their stories in order to humanize them, because we've talked a lot about how teachers talk about the Black students, how they interact with them, and sometimes they are dehumanizing. So we're using that storytelling as a means of personal development to pull at the heartstrings and let them see who these kids are, what they value, and show them that they do value a lot more than you may know.
And next we'll go to
Jason Hanan. Our humble ask today is for $25,000. This will be an iterative process for our community to embark on what I believe to be the intersection of all systemic oppressive issues. Students, specifically African American students of diverse Black ancestry, students with IEPs, in the pursuit of closing the achievement and opportunity gap that has existed here in SFUSD. We are one of the top 10 schools with the largest equity gaps. Therefore, we're going to drill deep. 3 asks. We need funding for instructional supplies as well as technology and extended hours for the planning, design, and delivery of not only the Black elective, but also in the proper development. We also need your support specifically with the upgrade of specialized technological equipment to be able to carry out the work of autoethnographies and storytelling as a core function of the experience at Aptos. We'll be doing that with our Circle the Schools partner, sharethrough.com, who has already co-signed. And lastly, with proper development, travel and conference, and also bringing in consultants, the best and the brightest in the field who can help humanize us and call us on our you-know-what in the pursuit of greatness for our kids. Here we go.
Cool. And then in closing, let's talk about perceived or intended outcomes for this as well. Through our work, we came to the realization that to really disrupt these long entrenched patterns that have led to the inequalities that are in society and then also mirrored in our classroom, we really got to focus on doing the personal work, right? And it's a shifting of mindsets. And that shifting of mindsets then can lead to a shifting of teacher practice, so that both our instructional practice and our interactions with our students is always humanizing and building. So with that being said, these are our intended outcomes of first and foremost, improve teacher-student relationships. And then second, building off of that, reversal of our rising trend of suspension rates, increasing student agency and voice, both in informing classroom instruction, but also school policy. And then our quantitative outcomes that we hope to achieve here, rise in GPA, improved attendance by reducing the number of our chronically truant African-American students by 50%. And then lastly, a 20% reduction in the number of referrals for our black students as well. Thank you all very much. Black
Students matter. Black students matter. Black students matter. Black students matter.